Hey my lovelies, I am back with another video. My name is truet.tj and today is another murder, mystery, and crime story time Saturday. And today's story time Saturday will be a true story from one of my favorite TV shows, which is Killer Couple. And I am going to tell you guys what happened on this particular episode so you can see this gruesome killing that actually happened. Don't get me wrong, I'm not happy about this crime, but I am happy to be here with you guys every Saturday, right here, every Saturday. Storytime Saturday, murder, mystery, and crime, right here, every Saturday, right here. And if you haven't, please go ahead and subscribe to my channel, like, share, and leave me a comment. Like always, I want to hear feedback from you guys. That would be awesome. So yeah, just a little disclaimer before we start this video. I'm gonna try to do a disclaimer right now. It will be killing, graphic killing, shooting, plots, how to murder people, a lot of stuff that have to do with killing, okay, pretty much. So if you guys have a very sensitive stomach and you feel like you can't partake in this murder, mystery, and crime story time Saturday, please go ahead and leave this page if you want to, but also come on back next Saturday because I may have another video that does not have to do with crimes, because I don't always talk about crimes, murder, and mystery. Sometimes I talk about tell stories about personal experiences that actually went on in my life, back in the day, like back in the day. So, it's just whatever I feel like I want to talk about on my Storytime Saturdays, that's what I'm going to talk about. And if you guys have any ideas or any story times that you want me to do my research on, then come back here on Saturday and present it to you guys, just please let me know. Drop a little comment in the comment section and I'll make sure I do, my research on that so I can get back to you guys. Yeah. And I'm sorry that I wasn't here last Saturday. If you guys watch my videos, y'all know that I have a lot of stuff that be going on with me just personally, and also now we are moving, so it's just like we got to get everything packed. So our house is in such a disarray right now, and plus I work a full-time job, so I'm trying to stay consistent with these videos. But honestly, you guys, it is super hard. Like I tip my hats to these YouTubers who have been committed to this stuff for like freaking 8 years. It's hard. It's hard, but hey, they do it because they love you guys, and I do it because I love you guys too, but don't hold me accountable for my actions, okay? One day I'm going to get it together, but I'm still working out the kinks, okay? But enough of this chitter-chat. Let's go ahead and get to this video. Okay, so this murder, mystery, and crime Storytime Saturday video is going to be about Ashley Jones and Geramie Hart, two high school teenagers that apparently fell in love. So at the time of the crime, Ashley was 14 and Geramie was 16, okay? Ashley, a little background about Ashley. Ashley grew up in a broken home. Her father and her stepfather was both very abusive to her mother, to them and her sister. Her mom always chose to seem to pick the wrong guys. Like her dad actually opened fire on them when they was in the car trying to drive away, which it's crazy that your dad would try to like kill you because your mom don't want to be with his abusive ass anymore. But hey, that's what happened. And her stepdad was no better. He was a pretty much of a dick too. Ashley was very stressed. Ashley was very depressed. Ashley felt like she was unloved by everybody around her. Ashley was taking prescription pills. She was smoking. She was doing other drugs. She already tried to kill herself twice by pill, and I think one time by cutting herself. Her mother decided to send her with her grandfather. His name is Roy Niles, and his wife, which is her grandmother, which is Mary Niles, and also their daughter, which is Ashley's aunt, and her name is Millie Niles. Like, they all stayed together. So Ashley's mom decided to send Ashley and her sister Mary to go stay with them. Great parenting skills, mom. I guess the man is more important than the daughters. That's what I'm taking, because instead of me getting rid of my daughters, I really got rid of the man. But hey, I don't know what was going on in your head, so I guess you feel like that was the best you can do. I don't know. Whatever. This story isn't about you. It's about Ashley Jones and Geramie Hart. Okay, so let's go to the story. Boom. Let's go to the story right now. Here's the story. Let me tell you the story. You ready for this? It's a crazy story. Okay, if you know me, I write down everything, so I do have notes because it's so much details in this story that yeah, I just can't remember it all. But I'm gonna try my hardest to explain the story as best as I can to you guys, so you guys can get the full graphic detail of this crime. Okay, so Ashley met Jermaine at his 16th birthday party. Okay, it was like love at first sight, like you know how it is in the fairy tales when they come glazing across the room. Is it glazing? Gliding. When they come gliding across the room, that's what Ashley was doing. I'm lying. That's not what Ashley was doing. She was dancing, and Jermaine saw her and was just like, "Dang, look at that booty." So he was just like, I'm gonna date her, I guess, or I'm gonna shoot my shot, which Ashley was 14 at the time, so of course she was just like, yeah, a boy likes me, come get me, basically, because she was really naive and really like naive. So yeah, so they started talking, started chit-chatting. Ashley and Geramie got really, really close, and they became a couple. They became like an item. Like, Ashley loved the hell out of Jermaine, and Jermaine knew that. And also, Jermaine had a baby with another woman at 16, so you already know he wasn't a virgin. So yeah, so Jermaine used to come over to Ashley's house that she shared with her grandfather, her grandmother, her aunt, and her sister. That was a lot to say. But yeah, Jermaine used to come over there, and Ashley's grandfather, DeRoy, he really did not approve of their relationship. Like, he did not like the fact that Jermaine was older than Ashley. He didn't like the fact that Jermaine just come off like a thug. Like, he just looked like a thug by his, attire or whatever. He didn't like the fact that Jermaine had a child already by another woman. And I guess what tipped him over the edge is when he went into Ashley's room and they was on Ashley's bed making out. He immediately kicked Jermaine out, which put Ashley into like a frantic state. Like, she just started to go off, and she was upset that no one understood the love that she and Jeremy had for each other. Anywho, Jeremy felt the same way. Like, he finally found the one, his true soulmate, and he didn't understand why her people didn't want them happy. Like, why they didn't like him, why they didn't approve of their relationship. You know what I'm saying? Like, why they have to sneak around and live in secrecy. Like, he felt like they should be okay with it, aka die for it. I don't know why I just laughed. I'm so sorry. I thought I made a joke, but it wasn't a joke. Okay, so let's get into the murder. So Jermaine came up with this big idea and told Ashley,
"Hey, Ashley, you know what? Our love is so strong, and I feel like no one understands this bond that we got with each other, and we need to eliminate all the people who do not understand this passionate love that we have for each other, aka your family."
You know what I'm saying? Like, we should just get rid of them, and we can be together and actually have this wonderful fairy tale life of being in love and carefree and just everything. And Ashley was just like, yes, Jermaine, let's do it. Let's be in love and let's run away into the sun or whatever. That's what they thought. That's what they thought. So basically, Jermaine convinced Ashley to kill her family, and Ashley was just like, okay, yeah. So for the next couple of days, Ashley and Jermaine basically planned the assassination of her family. Ashley stole her grandfather's gun, which was a .38 caliber pistol, and she also concocted like this mixture of stuff to make like basically lighter fluid. She had put like rubbing alcohol together and I don't know, lighter fluid. I don't know. She had put a lot of stuff together. I don't really know the details of making like a bomb or whatever, but she had put a lot of stuff. She had made some household mixture of chemicals to, basically burn the house down after she committed her crime. That's pretty much what Jermaine told her that they should do. Like, you should steal some of your grandfather's guns without him knowing it and make this concoction. That way, in order for us to like get rid of the evidence, we'll just burn it all to the ground after we do this. That's pretty much what he said that they should do, and that's pretty much what she did. That's pretty much what she did. So let me tell you guys. So the murder took place on August the 29th, 1999. It took place a little bit after, I want to say like 10:30, 11 o'clock at night. Ashley, her sister, her aunt, her grandmother, and her grandfather was all downstairs watching TV. And, you know, just basically chilling after dinner. You know, they had a dinner, and then they was downstairs watching TV, and Ashley was supposed to text Geramie to tell him when, you know, it was okay for him to come in, and when they was all getting ready to go to sleep. So around 11, I think Millie, no, I don't think I know. Millie, the grandmother, Mary, and the sister, Mary, decided that they want to go upstairs and get ready for bed, which left DeRoy, Ashley's grandfather, sitting on the couch, okay? So Ashley texts Geramie and was like, oh, the coast is clear, you know, come on in. You know, the day before, previously, Ashley did give Geramie her grandfather's .38 caliber pistol to do the murder with. So he already had the gun at hand. So Ashley let him in the front door, okay, on this day, and her grandfather was asleep on a couch at the time. So Ashley's grandfather was shot in the head and the chest. So he was shot twice, okay? So they thought he was dead, but he really wasn't dead, okay? So, but they didn't know that. So they proceeded to go upstairs, and then the first room that they came to was Ashley's aunt's room, which is Aunt Millie, and she was asleep in her bed, and Geramie shot her 3 times, I guess all in the chest. So the grandmother, Mary, heard all the commotion and came barging into Millie's room and saw Geramie and Ashley standing there. Geramie had a gun, and he shot the grandmother in the shoulder, not killing her but wounding her. She fell to the ground. Okay, so they decided to go into Ashley's grandmother and grandfather room and just try to steal as much stuff as they can. But they only was able to get $300 from her grandparents' mattress. And as they was proceeded to leave or whatever, they noticed that the grandfather was crawling his way towards, I guess, their kitchen or whatever. He was crawling towards the kitchen. So instead of shooting him, Ashley proceeded to stab him and slit his throat. And Geramie shot him, like just shot the poor guy up like he was. How you kill your own grandfather? But talking to you, Ashley, how you kill your own grandfather? I'm happy that you're in jail for life because you deserved it. You deserve it. But I'm gonna tell you guys the end is. I'm gonna keep telling you guys the story. Okay. So yeah, so the grandfather wasn't dead. The grandfather wasn't dead, so they killed him. They stabbed him. They shot him. Mary, Ashley's 10-year-old sister at the time, heard the commotion, came running downstairs, okay, and peeked around the corner and actually saw Ashley and Geramie killing her grandfather. Ashley saw Mary, the sister, and when Mary saw that Ashley saw her, she ran towards the door. Ashley chased her sister and caught up to her right before she was able to open up the door and stabbed her sister multiple times. Like, she had to stab her sister. Shit, I can't remember the stabbing. It had to have been over like 9 times. But she stabbed her sister, and her sister was smart enough to play dead. Actually, okay, her sister was smart enough to play dead. So Ashley went back into the living room where Geramie was at and her grandfather was at, and proceeded to throw the concoction of flammables onto her grandfather because they was about to burn the house down. But right before they was able to do that, Ashley's grandmother, Mary, came from downstairs and saw what they was doing, and of course she rushed to her husband's aid. Like, she was like, no, don't do this. Like, this is my husband. Like, what are y'all doing? So Ashley just started shooting her grandmother or whatever like that. God was on these people's side. Like, the victims, God was on their side. I'm not even going to lie. So Ashley started dousing her grandfather in a lighter fluid, and she set him on fire. Just like, threw the match. Set her grandfather on fire. And Ashley and Geramie decided to basically dip. Ashley and Geramie came up with this big, bright idea that they should have got a hotel room the couple days before to make it look like they never was at home. Like, they've been at the hotel room all this time and they don't know what happened, just in case they get caught. So they just thought, okay, yeah, let's get this hotel room that's, you know, a couple miles away from my grandparents' home, and I'm just gonna make it seem like, oh, we was just there all the time, basking in our love for each other, and doing what teenagers do, which is absolutely nothing. But yeah, that's what they hold. That was their alibi. That they was at a hotel which wasn't that far from her grandparents' house, and that's what they was going to tell the officers if ever questioned. But while they left, before they left, they stole Ashley's grandfather's car, okay, and drove to the hotel. That's what they did. I'm gonna let y'all think about that and just get back at me, I guess. So yeah, so the sister, Mary Knowles, God bless this little girl. She was the smartest one from her and her other sister Ashley. So she was able, once she saw that the coast was clear and Ashley and Jermaine was gone, she went to check it to see if her grandfather and her grandmother was alive. Thank God the grandmother was still alive. Ashley, who has been stabbed Mary, the sister who has been stabbed multiple times, and Mary, the grandmother who has been shot and stabbed and lit on fire, was still alive. So Mary, the sister, decided to help her grandmother. She was able to struggle up enough strength and courage to help her grandmother up off this floor, basically dust her off, because half her body was on fire. I think she had 35% of her body, she had 35% of her body was covered with, second degree burn. So Ashley had to Mary, the sister, helped her grandmother out the burning house, set her on the porch, and ran across the street to a neighbor house to call the police. Okay? So yeah, when the neighbors got there, when the police got there and the firefighters got there, they was able to put out the fire, but they wasn't able to save Aunt Millie and grandfather DeRoy. So yeah, they died. They died. And Mary, the sister, proceeded to tell the cops that they know who killed them. And Mary, the grandmother, also told the cops she know who killed them too. It was Jermaine Hart and Ashley Jones, which Ashley Jones was a sister and granddaughter of both. Yeah, they took them down to the precinct. It didn't take them long to find Ashley and Jermaine, because Ashley was watching the news at the hotel and noticed that her and Jermaine didn't do the job all the way through, because they left 2 victims alive, and the house didn't burn down completely. So yeah, they was just like, oh my God, we fucked. Like, shit, we're going to jail. So the cops ended up finding Ashley and Jermaine at the hotel. They didn't even think to run. I guess they was just like, we're innocent. We didn't kill nobody. We wasn't even there. If you check the receipts, we've been at this hotel for like 3 days. We didn't even know what's going on. Like, I don't know what they're saying. Like, that was their alibi. So yeah, Ashley and Jermaine was caught. Dummies. And when they was caught and they was put in the holding cell and it was time for them to give their confession, Ashley and Jermaine, neither one of them denied it. Like, neither one of them denied the killing. They basically told the truth. They said that they believed that her family had to go because they was standing in the way of her and Jermaine's love. Like, she felt like this was the right thing and the only thing to do was to kill her parents, and Jermaine was totally in agreement with it. Ashley said that Jermaine was the one who came up with the idea, but she totally supported it. Ashley also said that she was the one who grabbed her grandfather's .38 caliber to do the crime, and she wanted it to be happy because they believed that with them out the picture that they would have this successful, prosper love relationship. It didn't set on her until like she was actually going to jail for this, and her and Jermaine was never going to see each other again. At that point for Ashley, I think that's when a light bulb hit and was just like, oh my God, like, I fucked up. Like, this is all wrong. Like, no, we supposed to be living together. We're supposed to be happy, and now I'm about to be behind bars. And this is just so wrong. And even the grandmother, the one who was shot and basically left to burn alive, she was saying that, this story just really like get to me, and I feel like I'm about to be like teary-eyed right now, but I'm trying not to be teary-eyed. You know, I just think it's sad that people, teenagers actually do shit like this. Like this just don't make no sense, and it breaks my heart. But hey, it's a true crime, it's a true story, and I just want to tell you guys the ignorancy in this plot to kill her family. But yeah, even her grandmother was just like, you know, it's okay, I forgive her. She's young. She don't deserve to spend the rest of her life in jail. That's a lie for a grandma to say, because I'd be like, take them to jail. Throw away the key. Both of them. Like, let me light them on fire and stab them and shoot them. I don't give a how young you are. But yeah, that's just my personal preference. That's something that I would definitely probably say, because that's just me. But yeah, like her grandmother basically wanted her to have a second chance at life. Like she felt like jail was no way for this 14-year-old girl to understand what she was doing and live a better life. So her grandma was totally on board with like giving her a second chance, probably send her to like, I don't know, like a rehab facility, I guess, for young teens who murder their family. I don't know. But her Ashley's sister Mary, I feel like Ashley's sister Mary forgive her sister, but I don't think she'll forget. And I don't think she really cared about her sister anymore because, you know, yeah, like your sister tried to kill you and your loved ones. Like your sister didn't care about you at the time. Your sister stabbed you over 9 times. You know, she wanted you dead, and then she left you there to die. If you was never smart enough to pretend like you was dead, this would have turned out bad for you. She probably would have continuously stabbed you. So yeah, Ashley's sister Mary, she was just like, it's gonna take a lot for me to forgive you and forget. So yeah, so that is the story about how Jermaine Hart and Ashley Jones plotted to kill Ashley family. Sad story. Sad story, but true. Because I love murder mystery and I love crime videos. And I love to be here every Saturday with you guys. Well, except last Saturday I wasn't here. But I'm here now. And I love to be here all the time with you guys. Because you're great. And I love you guys. And I love that you subscribe. Thank you so much for subscribing. Yeah. I hope to see you guys in my next Saturday story time video. I know this video was a little bit short, but it was very graphic. Yeah. Oh, and also they did get life in prison. Mostly all my story times, like all the killers, they probably gonna end up having life in prison. I don't feel like I need to reiterate that, but I will for people who don't know. But yeah, they end up getting life, and I don't think Ashley nor Jermaine has no chance of parole. But yeah, I don't be caring if they have parole or not, because if it was up to me, they will stay under the jail and they will rot for eternity for what they did. Okay, of course, you know, psychologists say that at the age of 14 and 16 that you don't really maturely develop. I don't know how true that is, but she was mature enough to know how to mix a concoction to make a flammable substance. So I'm pretty sure she was mature enough to know that she was about to kill her family and it was going to be a crime. So I really don't know how true that is. Like, talk about you don't fully have brain capability until you reach a certain age. I feel like she was fully aware of what she was doing, because she was fully aware how to commit this crime, and she was fully aware of what she needed to commit the crime. That's just my theory, and that's just my opinion, but I stand by it, both. So yeah. Alright, thank you guys for tuning in to another one of my videos. I know this video is very gruesome, but it's so good. And I hope to see you guys right here every Saturday for Storytime Saturday. Right here. Every Saturday. Storytime Saturday. You gotta be here, because I'm gonna be here as much as I can. Bye.